Hello blokes, out again. Right, yeah, I was sitting at home, I was getting stir crazy, so I've got the bike out, gone out for a ride, just a local one. It's not going to go any distance, just sort of a little ride round. We've had a lot of rain last night on top of already saturated ground, and yeah, there's a heck of a lot of water everywhere, so I'm just going to nip down to the river and see how bad that is. That has been up the last couple of months really. That's not gone below the top of the banks much. That's been over the top quite a few occasions. I can see, look at that running off the field there, look. So yeah, oh my goodness, and it looks like I'm heading into a bit of a flood here. Yeah, this is, oh my goodness me. Yeah, so assuming we don't get too wet. Flipping heck, look at this. This is bad. Oh, that's clearing up a bit further down. There we go. So yeah, well, see you in a bit. The river level is not as high as I was expecting, but considering the rain only stopped an hour or two ago, I'll expect there's probably more to come, and that will rise. You see the meadows, it's flooded into the meadows a bit there. Just have a look at the other side. You see the other side of the bridge there as well. That's up over the bank again. So those meadows have had a good flooding this year. Right. Yeah, she's well up. Down that little footway there. Yeah, she's well up. Looks like she's rising as well. Right, so well, the sun's out. We're at the bridge, one of my favourite spots in this area. I do like this little patch here. It's lovely and quiet. So we're going to get some kit out. I've got some new gear to try out, and we'll have a little refreshment stop, perhaps a bite to eat. And then we'll make our way back again. So today what we're going to be testing out is this little bit of kit here. Now it looks very similar to the Esbit stove. This is in fact the BCB Fire Dragon. Quite intrigued by this little bit of kit. They're not expensive. I think that's one. It was less than a fiver anyway. I think it was about £3 or £4, and it takes, rather than the Esbit tablets, it takes these Fire Dragon tablets. These are made out of an ethanol, I think it is, gel, denatured ethanol. It's in a gel form. Sits in the little tray there. Basically, when you light it, it melts and the ethanol burns off, and you have a stove. So you've got a nice little windshield there, and it also tells you it's got the out bit, which tells you that bit goes on the outside, like so. And then fold those bits in, and that's your pot stand on the top there. So these are your tablets. These are not that expensive either. Pack of 12 was about £7, I think, something like that. So pop your tablet out, after having dropped it on the floor first. And this also works as hand sanitizer. It's basically the same stuff, but it's in a gel form. So in theory, really, if you've got bottles of hand sanitizer, you could probably squirt that in there and light it, and it'll do the same thing. So that in there. Now then, before we light it, I'll show you the other bit of kit I've got. This is from Lixada, and it's a 750ml cup. I've already got the stainless steel one. This is a titanium one. It's a fold out handles as usual, and it's got a hanging thing for hanging it over a campfire. The beauty about this one is it's also a cafetiere, a French press coffee maker. Very handy indeed. So it saves me having to carry that big, well, I say big, that bulky, awkward shaped coffee maker thing around. I've got this. Now let's pop some water in. We'll get that up to the boil. I'll turn it that way because the wind's blowing in this way, so you've got that windshield there. Hopefully you'll still see what it does. Right, so you'll see that light's very easy as well. That's lovely. Much better than those bit tablets, which can be a bit of a pig to light sometimes, can't they? You can see there now, look, that's just starting to melt the gel. So we'll get this on top. It sits on there very nicely. The wind's blowing the flame out of the side a little bit. There we go. See how that goes. And I will set a timer to see how long it takes to boil. Yeah. See, the flames are still licking out the side a little bit. Which way to turn that really? Oh, that is quite hot now. We can see though, it's heating the water up. Yeah, look, the flame's gone out. So that tablet didn't last 7 minutes. One before it, you got about 10 minutes out of it. That one, yeah, not as much. I sort of kind of turned the stove round to try and keep the wind off the flame a bit, try and keep the flame under the pot, but I don't know whether that helped at all. No, that's probably hot enough for a cup of coffee anyway. Right, so we put our coffee in our pot. Just to get our lid on. I won't press it down yet, it's a little steep for a bit. So as you can see, there's a bit of residue there in the tablets. It's stuck in there well. Yeah, I struggle getting that out of there. I'm using a stone to try and scrape it out, but that is well and truly glued in. These are supposed to be environmentally friendly, eco-friendly. Uses a bioethanol, I believe, for the fuel. As I say, you get this bit of deposit. Oh, it is cleaning off. There we go. But it's a neat little thing. It's fine. I should imagine if you're using it in a more sheltered location. Obviously there's a little bit of a wind tunnel in here, so the wind was whipping the flame up a bit out the side, and I don't think it was getting as much efficiency as it should. But that said, 15 minutes to heat up, and that wasn't even boiled, that was just heating up some water. That was a bit long really, but it's a neat little thing. I believe these are what they issue to the British Army, British made. Yeah, it's neat enough, it's a nice enough idea. Your tablets, they fit. You can fit a couple of spare tablets in the tray like that. And obviously you got the, so you can carry 3 tablets. All clicks together neatly, fits in a pocket. So yeah, it's all right, I suppose. If you're heating a small quantity of water up, say like a little cupful of water or something, it's ideal for that, I should imagine. Maybe I was pushing it with the 500ml, but I would have expected better, to be honest. Yeah, so for that sort of thing, I think I'll stick to the good old faithful, the old meths burner, which I brought along. She's lurking in there. There she is. Yeah, I kept that just in case. I did bring a dehydrated meal pack, but I'm not hungry at the moment. So I'll have my cup of coffee. Let's just press the plunger down now. This little Lixada cup is absolutely brilliant. I love it. Let's see if I put enough coffee in there to make a decent cup. Oh, it's a bit weak. That'll do. Wet and warm, that's the main thing, isn't it? So, on the lacto-free milk again. Let's get that in the cup. Oh, I spilled it on my knee. Good job it's not boiling. Fairly warm, to be honest with you. Thank you to my family for this lovely little cup. Yeah, it's drinkable. It's not the warmest coffee I've had. Yeah, that BCB stove I think has got its limitations. I think in the right situation, yes, that would be a good little bit of kit. But yeah, out in the open like this, yeah, it's got its limitations. That was 2 tablets I've used on there, which with the Esbit stove you should get a better boil. So yeah, I don't think they're quite as good as an Esbit, but it'll have its uses, I'm sure. It's not a bad little bit of kit. I mean, it's neat in the fact that it fits in a pocket. So yeah, it's good in that respect. So what we've been up to, well, as I've said before, I've had a little bit of a breakaway. I'm busy doing the garden, a few little odds and sods jobs done around there. Vegetable patch that had lain fallow for the last year, so I started digging that over and started planting stuff out. Got some garlic and some onion sets out there. They're sprouting already, so that's quite nice. Plan to put in some potatoes and a few other vegetables, interesting vegetables I was going to grow. I was going to have a go at growing vegetable spaghetti this year as well, which is a type of marrow, and you cut it open, the flesh inside is like a spaghetti. So that's going to be interesting. I'm going to give that a try. I might have a go with a few sort of novel vegetables. I've not had a lot of luck in past years with things like carrots. The dreaded carrot fly has struck. Yeah, that's not really been very good to deal with. You pull a carrot up and it's full of maggots and holes. So yeah, I might try some few different vegetables. Maybe things that don't take up so much space or so much ground for so long as well. I mean, I've grown things like sweet corn in the past, but the trouble is it takes up a lot of space and a lot of ground. albeit you can interplant it with other stuff. I've grown marrows in between before, and I believe you can grow beans up the sweet corn plants as well. So yeah, it might be worth a try. Might give that a go. Yeah. Before I go any further, shout out to Doug out. Hi Doug. Yeah, thanks for the mention on your last video. Yes, we definitely got to do that sometime. Get out on the bikes, and yeah, I either come up to your way. We'll have a ride round up there on a woodland camp or something, or come down this way. I don't know. bring your Intex down here, your inflatable. Get on the river, and we'll have a paddle up the river, maybe. You know, I know a nice little spot where we can camp out overnight if you want to do that. So yeah, big shout out to Doug. Anybody else that's watching, Simon, I think you subscribed to my channel. We did have a little discussion in the comment section of one of your videos about perhaps doing a walk around Thorpe Abbott's airfield. Well up for that, mate. Give us a shout when you want to do it. Yeah, so yeah, as you can see, I've decided to get out today because I'm sat at home. It's been really crap weather. I'm getting a bit stir crazy, to be honest with you. So yeah, it was nice to get out, have a nice brew in the wild, in the fresh air, get a bit of scenery, get my feet wet. As you saw earlier, that water was blooming deep. Come back, I've got to go back through that again on the way back up. So yeah, that's going to be fun. So we're back at the sub depot site of Thorpe Abbott's airfield. In case any of you haven't watched any of my previous videos, and I've done a few of them on Thorpe Abbott's, it was home of the 8th US Army Air Force 100th Bomb Group, also known as the Bloody 100th. They got that name through an unfortunate series of circumstances. They lost a lot of aircraft. One particular mission in 1943, the Munster raid, of 20 aircraft they sent up, only one came back. So, you may have heard of the 100th Bomb Group in recent months. Those of you that subscribe to the Apple TV channel will be well aware of a series called Masters of the Air. It's a Spielberg, Tom Hanks production. And it is actually set at the 100th US Army Air Force Bomb Group. So yeah, this is one of the air raid shelters. So we'll have a quick look. These were all built pretty much to a standard pattern throughout most of the US Army Air Force airfields. You can see there, it's just basically a blast shelter. It's obviously the earth has sunk down a bit. It would have been built up a bit more than that. And it was to offer blast protection from anything that sort of landed nearby, to protect the personnel from that. So you'll find remains of these all over the place, all over this airfield in particular. There's another one over the other way there. Some of the old Nissen huts still survive. Again, I won't go through them today, but they have featured in previous videos of mine. So if you go back through my list of videos, you'll find some. So yeah. As I say, this was not Central Depot, Sub Depot of the US Army Air Force. So basically a stores. So there you go, there's the remains of some of the Nissen huts. They're all gradually falling into disrepair and collapse, and well, that one's collapsed a bit more since I last saw it. Yeah, nature's reclaiming them. Some of these you'll see there's breeze block walls on some of them. They weren't like that when they were originally built. They were of an open construction, so it was just a lot of long metal tunnel. But you see there's been added like a brick and breeze block built thing on the side. That was when the huts were converted into bungalows after the war. There's a photograph in Century Bombers of this particular view in 1943 with them and on their bicycles. There would have been more buildings there, if I remember rightly, where those bungalows are. I think that was an accommodation site there at one time. But yeah, all gone now. Although the village has little changed since the war, as you can see, thankfully. Original K6 phone box. I wonder if that's the original position it was in during the war. So it's got the King's Crown on it, so it could be 30s, 40s era. It is very possible that the air crews may have phoned home from there. Yeah, that was the Temu drone footage. God, that's good, isn't it, eh? Really glad I bought that. Spring must be around the corner because the primroses are just starting to flower. The warmer months are coming. There's a lot of lawns and ladies there as well. I haven't seen any ramsons yet. Right. Hope you've enjoyed the video. Yeah, not much. Not a long journey today, just a local mind clearer, cobweb blower out around the local lanes. I was supposed to have got to Dunham's Wood today, but it was chucking it down with rain this morning, and there was no way I was going to get across the fens. You don't know what the flooding's going to be like across the fens, and it's bad here. So yeah, it's a little local ride. So thanks for watching. And until the next one, I'll say goodbye. Goodbye.